morning. Good morning to everybody out there. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Today is going to be the last trading day of this week. It is Friday already. Time goes by fast, but it is Friday today. Let me briefly fix my camera. There we go. I think that today is going to be an interesting day because we could possibly see a bit of a rebound. We're already seeing some indices heading up. We're seeing the Nasdaq going up 0.5 percentage point. Especially the Russell now bouncing back up, like we said yesterday. And so far, I mean, it looks like today is going to be a bit of a rebound day, and that is why I changed the title, and I called it what I called the thumbnail, which it says, "Are you ready for the rebound?" Because I think today definitely is going to be a bit of a rebound. We're going to see multiple stocks go up, small caps, big tech. Overall, green day, probably. So that is going to be what I'm going to be expecting of the market today. I'll be very surprised if something else will be happening, given that the technicals just across the board are oversold. We're seeing many stocks out there oversold. You know, we're talking about Palantir, C3, about Tesla, the EV stocks. Pretty much all of them in oversold territory. And that makes it pretty nice for a bit of a rebound. So I think today is going to be rather good. I noticed a lot of people are still panicking about Cciv, which is kind of hilarious. I mean, the merger hasn't happened yet, right? So the big catalyst, it's coming up. There's still time left. I think overall, Cciv is ready to be skyrocketing for the coming days. Went down a little bit lower than I expected. Of course, it hit like 22.6 at some point. I thought at the lowest it would have probably hit like 24. But yeah, we had really bad CPI data. We got really bad PPI data. Jerome Powell didn't come to the rescue. Although he did say, he reiterated, the same thing he has been reiterating, that they will not be tapering, that the interest rate is going to stay low as they are. And so that should be good enough. That should be good enough. So long as the market is going to take that in, I do expect a rebound across the board. And with Cciv, I think it's very hard to say what's going to happen, because I think what's going to happen is probably at some point during the next week, it will shoot up. It will shoot up very fast. And I think it's going to go to the $35, $40 range still. So it's still in a good position. I bought some Cciv myself at 22.7. Bought some at 23. And overall, I think it's still looking good. Let me see what's happening in the live chat. By the way, welcome back to Lucid Trading. Good morning, good afternoon to the people out there. Welcome back to Gara, Panagitis, Lively, Nin, Minahan, Afra, Ivan, Berenyi, Shazeb, Patsy, Bugis Laos, Logan, Komat Dang, Unai, K Sava, Shitan, Rai Guy Parker. Welcome back. Make sure you hit the like button. I would appreciate that a lot. Like I always keep saying, it takes about a second, so hit that like button right now. It would really help out with the algorithm, and it would really help out the stream. I think people would come back if you would just hit that like. So let's get it going. Let's get to 50 likes right here and right now. Hey Gary, I think it's time for us to smash the like button. Can you tell us to smash the like button? Smash the like button. Let's go. Hit the like. Let's get it going. Let's pump it up. Every like we get is a percentage increase in the overall market. I'm kidding. That'd be really crazy. I got some iced coffee. I should help out with today. Overall, I think today could be a very green day. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. There's a high probability we're going to see like a 5 to 10% bounce today with many stocks. We're talking the high multiple stocks, the Palantir, the C3, the Spce, Virgin Galactic, BNGO, Nano Dimension, all of them. And there's good reason that this could be happening. The Russell is heavily oversold, right? So the Russell, the small market cap index, incredibly oversold right now. You can see right here, it was briefly staying at the oversold. MACD's crossing on the 4 hours, looking quite nice. We also have the 10-year. The 10-year still sitting low. Look at that. It's up 1.7% today, but that doesn't matter because if you take a look right here, the 10-year has been trending downwards. So this should also be aiding growth stocks out there. And there we go. AMC going up to 37.7. It's rallying up again. Although I don't think it's going to last, so be very careful with AMC out there. C3 is sitting flat so far. Palantir, look at that. Palantir going up a percentage point. I personally bought some Palantir at 21. I thought it was a bargain, and I do think it's going to be shooting up quite a significant amount today. Same with C3, and I would say the same is going to be true for Virgin Galactic. There we go. Virgin Galactic going up as we said it was going to be going up. So up almost 4% in the pre-market. I think today is going to be rather green. It's going to be a rebound that we're going to be seeing here. Let's go. I'm in for this. You might know that Didi stock went down. So Didi stock is down 5.4% in the pre-market as we speak. And the reason it's going down right now is because the Chinese officials are now investigating the company. And that headline came out today. That's a bit of a short-term bearish headline. However, I still do not think it's going to last. Right? So this is a short-term bearish sentimental thing where if it's over, when this investigation is over, I think it's going to skyrocket back to 16. Easily. Fairly easily. So it's looking quite promising. Let me take a look at the live chat. DCA Gara. Exactly. I'm dollar cost averaging myself. I think dollar cost averaging is pretty much the best thing you could be doing in this market. Is that a green shirt? It's not a green shirt. I could not find a green shirt, so I thought, you know what, I'll be wearing a blue shirt. Unfortunately. Are you still confident there will be a rally for CCIV? I am so nervous. I'm in deep. Please. Yeah, I am very, very confident that CCIV is going to be rallying. One moment. Let me just see if I can edit my video. Looks a little bit dark. Yeah, I think the problem with it, that a lot of people have is that they go all in on stocks. That's a bad idea. Why is it so dark? Oh, my light is... So I was already wondering why the hell is my camera so dark, but the light was off. It was switched off. That happens from time to time. Yeah, it could be that I'm gonna have to edit the video cam as the light is like turning on right now. Alright, we got about 38 minutes left until the market is going to go open. So let me know in the live chat which stocks you want me to take a look at. I'll be taking a look at your favorite stocks. Just taking a look at my portfolio right now. That looks good. Looking pretty darn good. Yeah, I think the camera is a little bit... There we go. Gara, why are you wearing a shirt? I thought we voted. Yeah, we did vote. We did vote yesterday. I just could not find a green shirt, unfortunately. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, happy Friday indeed to people out there. I think it's going to be a great weekend. I think stocks are going to rebound prior to the weekend. It looks like that is going to be the case here. Let me see. I'm going to be asking you guys a question throughout this live stream. I'm going to pull this now right now. So I'm polling the question whether people are holding CCIV right now. And there are three options. It's yes, no, or whether you're going to buy it next week. Didi sitting at 11.67, down 5.6%. It's quite an insane amount, to be frank. I want to check what's happening with Neo. So yeah, Neo's rebounding. It looks like it's going to keep on going upwards. Was down 1.5%. It's going to go back up to this upper channel here, around 45, 46. Neo looking quite good. Maybe 250. Yeah, it's the 4 hours looking good. The daily chart relatively okay. It's not looking exceptional, but it's looking okay. Weekly chart. Yeah, this is what I do not like. It looks like the weekly chart is definitely coming down here. Volumes are also coming down. But it doesn't seem like it's overbought or anything like that. So it should still be able to rally at the current price of 44. I don't think it's a bad price. See what's happening with Tesla. I forgot to link my PayPal. Let me just quickly link that downwards. Hell yeah. Okay. Hoppa. AMC's up. Yeah, AMC's up. AMC's definitely up. It's because the Russell's up right now. You see that? The Russell's bouncing back. This is the rebound that I'm talking about right now. It's happening right as we speak. I would not be surprised if the Russell would zoom all the way back up to 2,220. So that would be like a 2% day for today. Russell's looking pretty good right now, which basically means that small caps, high multiple stocks, they're going to be rebounding today. There's no way around this. There's absolutely no way around this. Meanwhile, cryptos are still selling off. Gara's doing these polls to report them back to Bogdanov. Yeah. Secretly, very secretly. 66% of people are saying that they're going to be, they have CCIV. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people that are holding CCIV. I get it though. I mean, there's a merger coming up. I mean, that merger should be quite good so long as they don't delay the merger or anything like that. It should be able to be, it should be an exciting merger. All right, so here we have Tesla stock, right? We have this beautiful trend line that has been acting as proper support. It hit the 636 very briefly, and it looks like we're heading towards the 700s. That's where we're heading for earnings. 26th of July is going to be earnings. That is basically going to be not next week, but it's going to be the Monday after next week's weekend. And it should be quite promising. We should see a massive rally. Although I want to just check how much Tesla usually rallies in a short time span of a week. Like, what is the maximum that it can rally? So this was 21%. This was 17%. This was 30%. But this was when it was oversold. Right now it's not oversold, right? So it doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it's going to just rally 30% out of nowhere. For the stock split, it went up like almost... Oh no, for the earnings, what is it? The S&P inclusion, it went up like 40%. And it wasn't even oversold. So, yeah. Yeah, I can't really count this in. This is like abnormal behavior. 30%. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna go up 20% within the next coming week. So a 20% move from here. I mean, it would take it to roughly, yeah, around this range, 750s. Upper 700s, right? So that's the idea. Something like this. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, people are looking at this and they're like, no, that's not possible. Why would Tesla go up that fast? Because it's undervalued. Because it's being heavily shorted. That's why. Their earnings are going to be absolutely beautiful. They're going to have record earnings. They have record deliveries. I think the stock is going to fly high. It's going to just jump 10% very soon in like a single day. I'm pretty sure about this. It's more about like when it's going to happen, right? I still think we got next week. I mean, it could happen today. I mean, it could go up all the way to the 700s today if the markets remain stable. And it seems like the markets are stable, so who knows? We'll see. Ah, darn. Hopefully we get some green today. I think today's going to be green day. There's no doubt about that. The S&P could sell off, but the Russell's going to go up. The Nasdaq's going to probably go up as well. I think the Russell is going to go up despite the S&P going down. Because it's just looking so oversold. It's looking so cheap right now. Alright, we have about 30 minutes left. Make sure you hit that like. We're sitting at 66 likes. I think we can get to 100 real quick. So make sure you smash that like button. Would appreciate it. Takes about a second. And it also helps with the... Like I always say, it helps with the algorithm. Gets the subscribers back into the live stream because it recommends based off of how the like count performs. So if everybody would hit the like right now, I think we would sit at 200 likes almost instantaneously. So smash it right now. Smash it if you're holding Tesla or CCIV or C3 or Palantir or any high multiple tech stock out there. I do think today is going to be quite promising. So smash the like. Let's get to 100 right here, right now. Like I said, if everybody does it right now, we got 280 people watching, we would just get to 200 instantly. I think that would be really cool. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Let's see. Oh, also, if you're holding CCIV, and if you want CCIV to hit $35 and $40, make sure you hit the like. I'll make sure I'll cover CCIV more often the coming week. Obliterate the like button. Destroy the like button. It's the last trading day of the week. Smash the like button. I mean, if there's anything else you could do today, it's like... Hold up. I'm going to show you my phone. If there's anything else you could be doing today, it is absolutely going to be smashing that like button. Alright, let's get it going. Oh boy. Let's see what's happening in the chat. We got a donation coming in. From Masras. Masras coming in with a $5 donation and says, good morning. Do you think the buyers will push the price down for CCIV before the merger? Do you see CCIV 30, 35, 40, and 45? I think 30 is going to be fairly easy. I think 35 is going to be, yeah, it's going to be possible. 40 is going to be very hard. I thought it was going to be easy because, of course, I was thinking, hey, CPI, PPI is going to come in here. It's going to be fairly, it's going to be low, but it was pretty high. So I'm not so sure about 40 now. It could be somewhere between the 30 and 35 and 40. I think that's quite possible with CCIV. But then again, I mean, we've seen like several mergers, right? Several mergers come in, and they all flew very, very high, higher than anybody expected. So we could definitely see it hit 40. There's a really, really high possibility that CCIV is going to blow everything out of the water. It's the most anticipated merger of this year and probably last year as well. Lucid Motors. It's going to be massive. It's going to be huge. And I expect very, very high numbers. At least that 35, right? So, and you know, if it does go to 35, I mean, imagine that. It's going to be a massive, what is it? Like a 50% gain. A 50% gain within a week time at this current price. This is why I think that CCIV stock is one of the best swing trades, if not the best swing trade right now in the market. Yeah, this is not financial advice, by the way. We need one more like to hit 150 likes. Just one more. make sure you obliterate the like button. Alright. All my like videos on YouTube are Lucid Trading. That's how it's supposed to be. Gara, I will donate $100 if CCIV goes to $40. Honestly, if CCIV donates, if CCIV goes to $40, I'm gonna do a giveaway. Like, honestly, it's gonna be sick. If it hits $40, you can damn be sure I'll be giving away some merch. It's gonna be so exciting. All right, we got about 25 minutes left until the market is going to be opening up here. I want you guys to specifically tell me right now, which stock do you want me to do technical analysis for? Even if you're like passively watching or listening, let me know in the live chat, because I'm going to take a look at all these stocks right now. So just type it in the live chat. It takes about a second. Also hit the like button if you haven't yet. I want to know. I want to know which stocks you want me to take a look at. And I'll probably add some to the watch list as well. We also made a poll. We said how many people are holding CCIV. It's about 61% of people out there. We're going to make a new poll right now, and it's going to be about Palantir, because we haven't really given that much attention to Palantir. So I'm seeing a lot of stocks coming in, a lot of tickers. I'll be taking a look at that in a second. Let's see. We got a lot of tickers coming in. Let me just take a look. We've got Corsair, Palantir, Corsair, Nano Dimension, CLNE, CCIV, Grub, BNGO, EVGO, Plug. These are all high multiple growth stocks. The small caps, the growth stocks, the high multiple stocks, the high risk stocks. So I think a lot of people are loaded up in the in that area, and that I think that is all going to be rebounding today. It does look like that's going to be the case. So hell yeah, let's go. Sava, Coinbase, lots of CCIV, Virgin Galactic, AMD, BNGO, Airbnb, GLT, Xpeng. Let's see. All right. So I'm gonna take a look at Palantir, CCIV, BNGO, Tesla, Coinbase, and SoFi. So let's take a look at Palantir. All right. So before we take a look at Palantir, if you're holding Palantir, just smash that like. Would appreciate this. Right, so Palantir right now, it's been descending downwards for a bit, right? So it's been descending down all the way from 27.5 all the way to the 21. That's a massive downturn. Generally speaking, when Palantir goes down 24% or 25%, we see a swift rebound to the upside. Usually it's about 10 to 15% at least, right? So there's a high possibility that Palantir is now going to be rebounding back to around 24. And that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Given the fact that Palantir's fundamentals are getting better and they're not getting worse, and given the fact that it's oversold on the 4 hours, and the MACD is about to cross, it's sitting very low, sitting at levels where historically speaking it has bottomed out and bounced back massively. So giving all those things, I think Palantir right now is looking pretty great. I don't think it's going to go much lower. It could go lower if the 10-year shoots up like 5 or 10% today. So far, that is not happening. It's only up 2%. So Palantir, I think, is looking really fine. I think it's going to be rallying back up to the 30s for earnings. So if I would just point it out, this is the trend for Palantir right now. It's going to go all the way up to the 30s for earnings. I just expect it to be skyrocketing until earnings, and especially if they get a contract that would boost the stock even more, because we haven't really had any positivity priced into the stock. So when this starts happening again, it will just go up 10-20% almost instantaneously. Also, keep in mind, the last time that Palantir hit the oversold on the daily chart, well, remember what happened, right? So this was the last time it hit the oversold. It went from 17 all the way up to 27.6. Now, all I'm going to be saying is that Palantir could maybe move half of that move, right? So maybe a 30 to 40% increase for earnings, which is a big catalyst. So long as the market is going to remain stable, I think there's a good chance that we could see Palantir go up to the upper 20s and possibly at 30, either before or right after earnings in the middle of August. So that is looking pretty fine. Palantir, overall bullish. I would say it's one of the best stocks for the coming weeks and for the coming months. So yeah, I'm hyper bullish on this one. To the moon, right? So 61% of people think that Palantir is going to be going to $40 at the end of this year. That is awesome. That was a nice little poll there. The market is opening up in 20 minutes. I think we can hit 200 likes here. It's going to be possible. Smash that like button, especially if you're holding Palantir, especially if you're holding CCIV, because that is the next stock that we're going to be taking a look at here. All right, so CCIV is one of those stocks. They're quite unpredictable because it's a SPAC. There's a lot of hype. There's not a whole lot of fundamentals behind it, other than, you know, in the future they might produce like hundreds of thousands of EVs. Right now they're not really producing any. They're going to be producing about maximum of 1,000 cars this year, and based off of just what's going to happen this year, it shouldn't be valued at the current valuation. It shouldn't be at 20. It should be rather at like $5. But of course, people are thinking ahead that, hey, in 2022, they might be delivering more than 20,000. 2023, more than 50,000, etc., etc. And so that's the thought process here. And from past mergers that we have seen, when we saw Nikola merge, I'll have to grab Nikola's chart right now. But watch this chart, right? So the merger is going to be next week, at the end of the week on the 23rd. And the stock is down roughly 24%. Now I'm going to show you something very familiar that we saw with Nikola. I'm going to show it again. I've probably already shown it in the past. But yeah, Nikola's merger was, I think it was on the 9th of June, right? 8th or 9th of June. And prior, just a couple days before the merger, the stock went down 20%. Everybody was panicking. Everybody thought this stock is a scam. Nikola is a scam. It's not going to go up even for the merger. So guess what happened? Right after, a couple days after, right? 4th of June, 5th of June, it just consolidated. 6th, oh no, that's the weekend, right? And then the 8th of June, it skyrocketed 150%. Now, I don't think we're going to see 150% for CCIV. I think that's going to be unrealistic. But we could definitely see a similar parabolic move that we saw here for Nikola. And of course, these are two different companies. However, they're kind of in the same sector. They're going public in the same way. So I think there's a possibility we're going to be seeing a similar move here, where everybody's now dumping the stock, actually dumping it all the way down to 22, which is a big mistake, because I think next week, with all the hype and euphoria that we're going to be seeing around this stock, I mean, it's Lucid Motors merging with CCIV. People have been talking about this for almost like, it's been more than half a year, right? So it's one of the most anticipated mergers for this year. And on top of this, the rivals, the competitors, are going to be sitting at a value of $60 billion. Now, if we would say that Lucid Motors is going to be priced in at $60 billion, that would give it the valuation of, I would say, roughly, it would pretty much mean that we could go double from here, around $40. And this is why I'm so bullish on the stock, because competitors like Rivian are going to go IPO at 60 billion market cap, maybe even higher than that. So in that respect, I think Lucid Motors is quite cheap. My prediction would be that it rallies up all the way up to the 35 and possibly overshoot to the 40s. And then right after the merger, we see it cool back down and go back to the $30. So it would look something like this. Let me just draw it properly. Although right now it is in a bearish channel. I mean, that much is quite evident right now. So something like this, and then shoot back down. So yeah, I can't even draw it properly, so this is the 23rd. So something like this. It would look quite similar to what we saw right here when it went back to the 60s and then came down all the way. Yeah. And I think it could maybe stay at the lower 30s for a while. But I think it's going to drop almost instantaneously if it does go to the $40. That's just the thing, though. A lot of people find this unrealistic, but this has happened over and over again. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember what happened to SoFi, but SoFi wasn't even that highly anticipated. It wasn't even that much popular of a stock. SoFi went up from... Look how much SoFi went up, right? So this is a good example. 17th of May, they had a merger, right? So they had a massive merger, and it went up all the way. It went up all the way to 70... It was up 73 percentage points. I mean, that is insane. CCIV hasn't even gone up that much. Let's see what I think CCIV went up. So, yeah, okay, it did go up similar amounts. But right now it's down from that amount. So if you would just take a look at this, I think there's at least like a 40 to 50% move coming up. I think maybe even more than that. But yeah, very, very bullish. I wouldn't say that this is the end. I think there's a whole lot more coming. Do some calculation with the profit margin on average car in the industry. It doesn't matter. It does not matter right now. It's a short-term swing trade. This stock is going to fly high because people are excited. They're going to be euphoric about it. The same way that AMC went up to $70, right? AMC, I mean, their fundamentals are absolutely just not sitting at their current stock price, even at 37. But it shot up to 70. I think the masses are going to buy the stock regardless of fundamentals on the short term. Long term, I think, yes, the fundamentals are going to matter, and I think the stock is not going to stay at $40 if it does hit that $40 mark here with CCIV. So yes, I think you're right about this. Eventually, it will come back down to its fundamental valuation. You know, they're not offering a whole lot this year. They're not producing a lot of cars, but next year they're going to do that, and after that they're going to just expand very fast. So that's the idea right now with CCIV. I do not think it's a scam. I think it's going to be a one-time swing trade, and I personally am going to get the hell out of there right before the merger, or right on the merger, depending on what's going to happen, right? So there's a whole lot of things that can happen. It could go up on Monday, it could go up on Wednesday, or on the merger itself on Friday. I think there's a high possibility it could go up Thursday, Friday next week, right prior to that merger, which is going to make it very hard to get out of the stock, because that would basically mean you're going to have to get out of the stock on the merger date, which is very, very hard to do, especially if you sell at 35 and it moves to 45. I mean, you're going to be like face bombing right then and there. But that is how it is. That is how these swing trades go. All right, so we got about 13 minutes left here, I see. 13 minutes until the market is going to be open, and I think today's going to be a very exciting day. Like I said, like my thumbnail is portraying, today could be a rebound day for high multiple stocks and small caps, and there's a good reason why this is happening. The 10-year's sitting pretty low. The Russell's bouncing back. It's very oversold. Many stocks across the board in this watch list are very oversold. We're talking about Neo, Palantir, CCIV, etc. So we could see a bit of a bounce today for these stocks, while the value stocks might actually sell off again today. Ronald Anderson coming in with a $5 donation and says, you say CCIV could pull back right after the merger. How soon after the merger will it pull back? Pretty much a day after the merger. I think right after the merger, it's going to pull back. A day or two, right? So I think it's almost instantaneously after the merger, it's going to pull back. But yeah, thank you for that donation, Ronald. I appreciate it. We hit 200 likes. That is awesome. The next goal is going to be 250 likes. I think we can still get there, so make sure you smash the like if you've been enjoying the content. If you want me to take a look at your stock, let it be known in live chat. And also going to be creating a poll right here. Here we go. I'm actually quite curious about this one. I'll tell you in a moment what it's about. Here we go. So CCIV or Tesla? I want to know. Since a lot of people are holding CCIV right now, I actually think a lot of people are holding Tesla as well. I want to know, CCIV or Tesla? Let it be known in the poll. It's down below in the live chat. We have a 4.8 euro donation coming in from Joseph Chan. Joseph says, "Hey Gara, do you think that XELA would go up to 4.5 today or next week?" Thanks. Thank you, Joseph. Let me take a look at that. XELA. Yeah, we said it was going to go down. It did go down. It went down twice, massively, but whatever. It's up 14.8% in the pre-market, 200 million market cap. Very small market cap. I really don't like this one. But I think it already jumped, right? It already jumped. What am I doing? Yeah. Is it right now sitting at 3.8 in pre-market? Yep. No, I think it's going to go down. I presume it's looking a little weak right now, actually. It's up 15%, but it's not passing resistance, so that's kind of weird. And we're not seeing the MACD cross at all on the 4 hours or the daily chart. So I think it's going to come back down. Back to 3.5, maybe even lower than that. Maybe retest this trend line that we have. And then maybe bounce right after that. I think it's going to come down again. Probably during open. Unless something is happening, right, on the fundamental side of things. It does look like it's going to pull back here. CCIV next week, Tesla next month. Hey, right. So 50% of people say they would rather have Tesla. 46% of people saying CCIV right now. 3% of people said Nikola. That is just great. CCIV is the poor man's Tesla. That's what somebody said. I don't know. I think it's the other way around. I think CCIV is the luxury version of Tesla, right? So they have luxury vehicles. Meanwhile, Tesla's production they're scaling up so fast that it's having an impact on the production quality of their vehicles. So I'll give Lucid Motors that, right? Just the fact that they can focus on quality rather than just quantity. Because the focus of Tesla has been basically just popping out as many vehicles as they can. Meanwhile, Lucid Motors, their mission is going to be to pop out as the highest quality cars that they can. There's a difference there. There's a big difference there. Although, of course, Tesla's cars are quite good. But quality-wise, I think Lucid is going to win it. But in quantities, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, Elon is very diligent. Darn. Very diligent. I mean, they're working very hard, scaling up very fast. Yeah, I think scaling up is going to be a lot more useful than having high-quality cars for the next coming years. All right, let's see. Let's end this current poll. Let's go. We're about to hit 250 likes. My gosh, it's going so fast. Let's go for the last trading week. Smash that like button. Takes about a second. Helps the algorithm. Helps YouTube. It helps my channel. It helps everybody out there. Let's go. Lucid is way better than Tesla. Some people are saying. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure. I think definitely Tesla. Overall, Tesla's way better. Way better. They're far ahead of the competition too. Virgin Galactic still not quite bouncing back as I hoped. It's only up 3% after the massive Goliath of a downturn that we saw with Virgin Galactic. It went down 42% here. I think the fact that SpaceX, not SpaceX, but the fact that Blue Origin is taking some people to space, that could also have a big positive influence on Virgin Galactic stock. So yeah, Jeff Bezos and his brother and 2 other people are going to be going to space. I think it was the 20th probably this weekend. They're going to be going to space, and they're going to be taking a Dutch kid, an 18-year-old Dutch kid, to space, which is insane. The father of the Dutch kid is a hedge fund manager, and he bought a ticket for his kid to go to space, which is insane. But yeah, that's going to be happening. So the first 18-year-old that's going to go to space is from the Netherlands. Well, I am from the Netherlands, and I feel pretty good about this. I think, yeah, it does something with you, you know? It boosts your ego. All right, let's just see if the Russell's going up much. Yeah, the Russell's going up. It's sitting at 2,200. That was honestly looking quite predictable. It was oversold. It came down like 8% recently, while the whole market was actually going up for the most part. The market is going down since yesterday, or like 2 days before. But the Russell's been going down for a while longer. Alright, we have about 5 minutes here until the market is going to be opening up. Make sure you smash that like button. Let's get to 250 likes. I think we can do it. We've got enough people. We've got if everybody that is watching, so we got 480 people watching right now. If everybody would just take a second, just hit that like, I think we could get to 300 right now. Let's move the goalpost. 300 for the last trading day of this current week. I'm gonna grab another phone to hit the like. It's like grab somebody else's phone. You gotta hit the like button. Yeah, the Russell's still skyrocketing. It's rebounding right now. That's the title of this live stream. That's the thumbnail, you know. And I've been saying this from the start of this live stream. I've been saying this since yesterday, that this rebound was going to happen. You can't just have the market, the Russell drop like 8-9%. When the 10-year is actually quite solid, when the Fed is actually still supporting the markets. It was quite oversold, so it was bound to happen. 4 more minutes left. See what's happening with C3.ai. It's still sitting flat, not doing much. Palantir up 1.16%. AMC is up 5.4%. Tesla is up 0.75%. Not a whole lot to the upside, but you know, it's getting a lot. It's moving. It's moving. I'm actually quite curious what's going to happen with Tesla today. I think we could see a bit of a boost here. I'm going to guess. My guess is going to be that Tesla is going to be moving. Let's see. My guess is we're going to see Tesla move to the 670s, right? So I think the 670s could be realized. And if that happens, that means Tesla's up. It's going to be up roughly... that's about 3% overall for today. I think that's doable. It's not a very high amount either. I mean, it's 3%. They've got great fundamentals going for them. Not a whole lot of bad news. There's a lot more positive news coming up. So, yeah. The 670s would be my target on the short term. So let's just... and right as I say that, it comes down, right? That's kind of hilarious. Alright, we need 18 more likes to hit 300. Come on, guys. We got 500 people watching. Hit that like. Smash that like. If everybody does it, we get to 500 right here. Gara, would you buy Virgin Galactic at 33? Yeah, I would. I personally would. It is not financial advice. But I personally would be buying at 33. I think it's quite cheap. It is quite cheap, honestly. I mean, Virgin Galactic, it was sitting at 40, it was sitting at 50, it was sitting at 60. People were buying it at 60. It's now at 30. It's 50% lower. Isn't that... That's a discount, right? Although, it has high multiples, yes. But I think after the FAA approval and after, the Richard Branson flight, it is definitely a lot more... established than where it was sitting at previously. People considered Virgin Galactic a scam. They considered it a meme stock and just a meme stock. Nothing to be taking seriously. But with what happened recently, I think they're truly establishing themselves as an actual commercial spaceflight company. And there's a lot of millionaires that want to go to space, that have a lot of money. So I think the customer base is there. They just need to start scaling up. All right, we got 1 minute left until the market opens. We got 1 minute to hit 300 likes. Let's get it going. Let's get to 300 right now. All right, let's see. AMC 38, C3 flat. Oh, C3 is up 0.8%. That is amazing. Like I said, I want to cover Tesla right now. I want to see what's going to happen here. Let's go to the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute. Market opening up any minute now. And the market is officially open. Let's go. Market open. Tesla's green, 0.7%. NIO, 0.8%. Lee, flat. XPeng, 1.6%. Cciv up 1.6%. Didi going down 4%. Overall looking green because the Russell is green today. This is some excitement, eh? Oh boy, let's check the portfolio. Still looking good. Let's check Didi. Yeah, Didi is slowly rising now, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. It's only down 3.5% now. It's good stuff. Yeah, so Tesla's sitting at the 650s, and it's not really moving that much. It's kind of disappointing. You would think that, like, you know, earnings is in about 10 days, and we have 2 weekends, which basically means we have about 6 trading days for Tesla to go up. So there's only one way it should be going up, and that's vertical to the upside. But it's moving incredibly slow so far. Virgin Galactic up 2.6%. We have, oh man, BNGO is still negative. But yeah, Nano Dimensions up 1.4% right now. PLTR up 0.5 percentage point. AI slightly up. AMC now coming down. NEO up 0.9%. So all the numbers that we saw in the pre-market now coming down. And the main reason that is happening is because we're seeing the Russell come down here again. So it's coming down slightly. Oh man. Yeah, Tesla's just not budging. It's so strange. I mean, we're seeing big tech run up again. Look at that. Apple up 0.5 percentage point. We have Facebook going up. Google. Everything else in the green. What is happening with Microsoft? Damn. Market cap of 2.1 trillion. Meanwhile, Tesla's just struggling at the 650s. It seems like Tesla's going to come down even further. MACD's crossing. There's a gap to be filled to the 650s. I think I'm going to buy some. I mean, we still have a couple days left until earnings. Historically speaking, I mean, it takes roughly, if we take it earnings, the rally that we had here started 9th of April. Earnings was the 27th. Yeah, it's moving a lot slower than usual. I mean, I think it's still coming up though. All right, let's take a look at CCIV. CCIV up percentage point, still looking quite weak though. Looking rather weak still, but it is up 0.4% right now. It's better than it being red, so still a tiny rebound. Yeah, it went down 1.5% from pre-market until now. XPeng is pulling up 1.8%. Look at that, 1.8% there. We have AMC still up 4.6%. Looks like it's hitting a proper resistance right there at 39.3. Roughly around 40. I think it's going to pull back now. Palantir's up only 0.6%. I mean, it's still sitting low. It's sitting in the oversold range on the RSI. MACD's crossing. Yet it seems like nobody's willing to buy the stock at the moment, which is quite sad. And we have Virgin Galactic about to cross the 4-hour McDonald's, the 4-hour MACD, looking quite nice. Yeah, that should go all the way. Oh, yeah, I think I hit the actual the lines that we drew. We saw a bit of a pop, and we're seeing weakness again. And then we're seeing the Nasdaq go up. We're seeing the S&P go up, and the Dow Jones is just barely up today. So far, I mean, did it hit the all-time high? It hit the all-time high. And the Russell is moving the most. But yeah, the Russell's been down like a lot. Look at this. I mean, from its all-time high, the Russell is still down 9%. You see that? Down 9% from the all-time high. How much is the Nasdaq down from its all-time high? How much is it? Oh, 1%. How much is the S&P down from its all-time high? 0.7%. Dow Jones? It is sitting at the all-time high. So I think the Russell is poised to go up for the coming weeks and months. Just to recover back to like original highs that it was sitting at. I mean, the 10-year is supporting that. Overall, Fed supporting the market still. Let's see. Tesla is sitting at 655. Still not quite impressive though. I mean, it's still down. How much is Tesla down? Tesla's still down roughly 27% from its all-time high. Underperforming the market this year for sure. Now we have Virgin Galactic coming down further. It's about to go below the 32. We have Palantir going below 21.5 now again. After the brief bounce that we got, very brief bounce that we got, it seems like the market is coming down again. And it's kind of weird because the Russell is bouncing back and forth. You can see right here, it spiked 0.8%. Then it almost instantaneously dropped another 0.5%. I think we could see this properly on the 5 minutes. So weird. The Russell will go up when the institutions dump the FANG and defensive stocks. Well, they're not going to dump it until earnings. I think that's going to be the case here. I mean, I think what people want is they want to see, are these growth stocks going to perform well for earnings? Because if they don't, it doesn't make any sense to be buying them. And I think, okay, so the guarantee that big tech is going to perform good is almost 100%. We don't know if these growth stocks are going to be performing as well. So, not only do you have an incentive because CPI is very high, and because Jerome Powell is not going to be easing up the markets further, it's also the case that we don't know if these companies, if these growth stocks are going to perform well with this inflation that we have seen. And I think a lot of these institutions and hedge funds are going safe mode, defensive mode, indeed just being cautious. Oh, look at that. Virgin Galactic spiking. Up 4%. Nice. We have Didi still down 3.3% today on the investigation that is currently happening. AI now down 0.9% out of the blue. Interesting. Palantir still sitting up 0.4%. The Russell will go up. Cciv is very disappointing. Keep dropping. Yeah, it keeps dropping. I mean, it could drop until next week. I mean, the real players that are going to buy in is going to be hedge funds. and institutions. They're going to wait until they get the best price they can. I mean, they hold the power right now. Look at Coinbase. Coinbase sitting oversold again. Back at the 224. I like that. I mean, that's a good price. It hit 220 again. I don't think cryptos are going to go down forever, so Coinbase should be good. 10 years spiking 1.6%. But it was higher, right? So it hit 1.33. Now sitting at 1.32. Gradually coming down. The dollar still heading upwards. Gold heading down slightly because the dollar's going up. Meanwhile, Tesla's just like the mid 600s and not even moving. People are taking losses on AI every day, selling at these prices. Well, that's their problem. I mean, honestly, why would you sell a stock that has great fundamentals, and you're selling it for like a loss? Like, that's not a good idea. The number one rule of investing and trading is just not losing money. If you're losing money, you're doing something wrong, right? Of course, you're gonna lose money at some point, but you want to lose as little as you can. I mean, I'm a good example of this. I bought this stock. I made the mistake to buy this stock at 160. I think 160.70, right? So I bought this stock. It's called C3.ai. I bought it right here. I pretty much bought it at the top. So what did I do? I sold the stock for the tiniest loss that I could sell it for. Then I averaged it down right here, right here, right here. I just kept on averaging it down. Guess what my average is right now? It's $69. Yet I bought the stock at 160. If this stock goes back to 69, I'm sitting at break even. If it goes to $100, I'm probably gaining like 50%. And I do think there's a high chance that this stock is going to go back to $100. The idea is that you do not sell a stock that has great fundamentals, unless you see, hey, there's a lot more downfall. There's a lot more downfall coming in the next coming months. I mean, then it would be a good idea to average down. But just selling, I mean, you sell at a profit. You don't sell at a loss. Why would you sell at a loss? If there's news coming out that your stock, that your company, that you're invested in is suddenly a fraud, I would get the hell out of there, right? But if that is not the case, if the fundamentals are great, if the market is doing fine, it just doesn't make sense to be selling. It depends on the circumstances, right? So, yeah, overall market coming down again. Russell's heading downwards. Man, this is just it's just so punishing, right? These stocks have already suffered massive losses. Like, we're talking 50, 70, 80% losses on these stocks, and yet we're seeing them go down again after the losses. We're seeing the value stocks take up to the upside, and this has all to do with the CPI and PPI. And then people they tell me to stop talking about this, but it's been the major drive factor of how these stocks are behaving for the past pretty much 4 months. Hold up. Let's take a look at BNGO. See if BNGO is doing anything right now. Oh. Right, so what did we say with BNGO? I said BNGO could possibly come back to around 5.5. And then run up back to $6.77. I would say probably 6.7. This seems to be a solid resistance. But I still think right now, I mean, BNGO, it's not sitting that high. I mean, we know how high BNGO went. It went to 15.5. It's now down, sitting at 5.8. I would prefer to go back to 5.5, the lower $5, where it's right below that 200-day moving average. Still, I mean, 5.8 is not that bad. We have earnings coming up in the middle of August. It looks quite good. I think it looks fine. Let's see. Hey Gara, another down day for stocks. I'm not so sure about that. The indices are green. The indices, the Russell's green, the Dow Jones is green, the S&P is green, the Nasdaq is green. It's just these specific stocks that are down, right? So Virgin Galactic is still bouncing. I mean, same goes for Nano Dimension, 3% to the upside. We have, what is it? Yeah, okay, we're seeing some now going red. Tesla now going red. XPeng is dropping. So the EV stock's now kind of heading downwards. And we have a long day ahead of us, so I'm not so sure if it's going to stay red. Although it is dropping fast. The Russell is still not dropping. It's the Nasdaq that's dropping right now. Interesting. Russell's going through .com bust. I wouldn't say that necessarily. Does it even look similar to the .com? I mean, we have some data. Why don't they show the .com bust on the Nasdaq? It goes all the way back to 2002, and that's it. That's weird. They should be able to show that. Are they ashamed or something or something? There we go. That's the .com bust. This does not look like what we have right now with your boy, the Russell. If we just like compare these two. It doesn't even come close. It doesn't even come close. Like, it's consolidating. The Nasdaq never really consolidated. It just went up and it came down all the way. It did consolidate right here. I think if anything, what might be the case is that we're sitting somewhere here with the Russell. Like comparable to the Nasdaq. Although I don't necessarily think it's going to double over the coming years. I do think there's some upside coming up for the Russell. Yeah, right. Although, if you take a look at this right here on the monthly, that looks kind of wicked. Yeah, but we had several corrections with the Russell. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq just kept going up like a rocket ship. So that's, I would say, the difference. There were periods of consolidation and periods of where we just see corrections with the Russell. But in the 2000s, it was just up, 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 up. No sell-offs. Very tiny sell-offs. We had several big sell-offs with the Russell. I mean, look at this. That is a 27% sell-off. Another 28% sell-off. Of course, what we had during COVID, 45% sell-off. And now we're seeing an 8% sell-off. I think there's still room to the upside with the Russell over the course of the next months. I mean, it's been flat since basically the beginning of this year. Meanwhile, all the other indices, I mean, the S&P is up 17%. The Nasdaq is up like 10% or something. So, it's been relatively flat. For good reasons. You think we're definitely in a bull market. This is definitely a bull market. Despite, what's happening today, it's going down slightly. We're definitely in a bull market. This is not a bear market. This is not even close to what a bear market would be. Didi down 2.6%. Let me check my portfolio. Hold up. Let's see. Let's see. Magdi is crossing on Cciv. Still looking pretty good, actually. Not looking bad, at least. Just gonna look across the board what's happening with these stocks. AI oversold, similar to what we saw in the past. PLTR oversold. What do we have here? Virgin Galactic oversold. We have all of these. Didi is neutral. CCIV oversold. Tesla is right around neutral, right? So Neo right around neutral. What's happening with Apple? Apple almost overbought. Facebook neutral. Google getting close to being overbought. Microsoft pretty much overbought. Amazon neutral. Yeah, it's just selling off right now, so sold off 4%. Damn. Hit 3,774. Netflix neutral. But it's not just that. I mean, just recently it was overbought. All of these stocks were overbought. Meanwhile, I mean, if we take a look at Virgin Galactic, it's been oversold for some time. Same with Palantir. Same with C3 and all these other growth stocks. Yeah, so the Russell's coming down. The Nasdaq is coming down. But still green. They're still in the green. They're not selling off big time or anything like that. Yeah, we're seeing the same kind of behavior from institutions and hedge funds. Going to value stocks, going to the... They didn't even go to bonds back then. But they went to the value stocks, the defensives. I mean, what's happening with Nike? Nike must be sitting at like 170 right now. If it is, that would be hilarious. 161. I mean, this is the sign of the times. Like, look, they're buying Nike like crazy, as if it's like a growth stock. How much did it go up? Hold up. They bought 27%. It went up in just a couple weeks. Yeah, there's a need for like safe stocks that would slowly head up. That would not be very vulnerable to inflation. Actually benefit from inflation. I still think Nike's going to come down big time over the course of the next weeks. It's heavily overbought. You see that? Very, very overbought. Big gap here. Just waiting for that to happen, I guess. Let's see. I think, of course, the market is down slightly, but... Well, the market is not even down slightly. It's just some stocks that we cover are down slightly. It's still looking a lot better than yesterday. So I'm already happy about that. And I think things could still improve at the end of the day. Because we're going into a weekend. Tattooed Chef, yeah, look, there we go. Megaphone pattern. Megaphone pattern. Looks like it's going to go down again. Let's see. Gara, can you check Citrix? Citrix. Let's take a look at Citrix. Citrix. Yeah, I thought it was gonna bounce. Still not bouncing yet. It's down quite a bit. Up 0.35% today. Yeah, we did. I think we said yeah. So it said it was going to go down initially, which it did. It went down, and then it said it would be rallying upwards. It's now in the process of rallying up. Yeah, my target price for this bad boy is getting back to the 120s, at least before earnings, which is going to be in about 2 weeks. So that is what I thought, and that is what I still think is going to be happening here. Yeah, C3.ai down 0.6%. It's not really improving. Not yet. Somebody's spamming. Hold up. Let's check TLT. Check the 20-year. Yeah, bonds are spiking. Oof. It looks like bonds are going to go up much further, which could mean that the 10-year yield could come down. We'll have to see. Of course, it does look like in the short term we're going to see a bit of a sell-off in bonds. I mean, that's quite possible. Yeah. And if that happens, we'll see a short-term spike in the 10-year. Most definitely. I mean, it does make sense. The 10 years gotten caught on quite low. It went down 28%. Speaking about things going low, Tesla's sitting at 645 now. And this is quite odd because it's like 10 days before earnings. And it's going down. Interesting. Can you make money in a bear market? Yeah, you can. If you have any puts or like if you're shorting or anything like that, you're going to be making lots of money in a bear market. That's going to be my idea if the market is going to go full on bear markets. I mean, I'm going to be shorting stocks. One moment. Hey guys, does Tesla have to report with the Bitcoin losses? Yes. If they have losses on Bitcoin, they'll have to report it. So yeah. My estimation is that what's going to happen is Elon is going to kind of hype it up again, and then Bitcoin goes up again. That's what I think is going to happen. He's going to say some things about Bitcoin. He's going to pump it up, and then prior to earnings, Bitcoin goes up above their buying price. If it's not already below it right now. Darn it, stocks just keep going down. Look at that. Virgin Galactic now heading down. That is insane. We're seeing it at 31.6 and nobody is willing to buy. But moments ago, literally just moments ago, it was sitting at 50 and people were buying like crazy. Well, that's the stock market for you, right? That's Virgin Galactic for you. It's not the first time that this is happening. Seems like it's going to go lower. PLTR about to go negative. Same with AI. It's negative right now. AMC is dropping as well. That is happening as the Russell is coming back down. Oh, 8th point. Yeah, there we go. That's the stock that recently had a merger, right? It's the company that had a merger just recently. Yeah. That wasn't that exciting, to be honest. I think it was Apex Technologies that merged with it. I don't really like it. I don't like this company that much. Let's check what Netlist is doing. Yo, Netlist is still not going down. This is crazy. It's holding up. And I don't think it's going to go down. Even if the market goes red, I think it's going to stay up. Like we talked about this yesterday. It really does look like Netlist is going to be pretty green. Virgin Galactic selling off further. Wow, this is insane. PLTR slightly green. Didi came back up all the way. Look at that. Didi dropped it dropped 7%. Then it came back up 5 to 6%. It's about to go green. We're seeing the same thing that we saw yesterday. Slowly but steadily heading downwards on the growth stocks. One moment. All right. Yeah, that is looking really bad on the 1 hour with Virgin Galactic. I mean, if the Russell's going to free fall, the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones and everything are going to follow suit. Not too soon after. So that's the thing. You can't have the Russell sell off heavily without having all the other indices fall down maybe within the next 6 months. So that would just basically mean there would be a market crash. But I think the chance of that happening, very low. So I don't think the Russell's going to free fall. And if it does free fall, it just basically means, hey, first the high multiple stocks are going down. Next up, what's going to happen is, banks are going to come down. Everything else is going to come down. It can only be like asymmetric for so long. So it's either we're going to see the Russell come back at some point, or you're just gradually going to see the whole market crash. And that risk certainly is there, right? It has been there since the beginning. The market is very overvalued. So if there would be a market crash tomorrow, I would not be surprised. Not as much as I would be in a normal situation where the market is not overvalued. Space to the 20s again. I hope so. What's happening with Neo? When do you think it will bottom out? I think Neo could probably be bottoming out in the lower 40s. Didi about to go positive. Should look at that. It's only down 0.7%. It was down 7% at the lowest. It's about to go positive. Nvidia is coming down right before the stock split. No surprise there, honestly. Oh. It is oversold though, so might bounce briefly back to around 780, possibly, and then drop again. Yeah, could it be because of the Delta variant? California just enforced the indoor mask rule. Well, that sucks. I think it's like there are several things happening at the same time. And one of them is going to be the Delta COVID variant that is rampant. We also have the what is it? CPI, PPI coming in way higher than expected. And we're getting closer and closer to the Fed starting to taper. So, of course, there's going to be a lot more volatility. We have the more rents, the rents that were frozen. I think that is going to be lifted, right? So people are not going to be able to pay their rent anymore, which is going to mean that we're going to be seeing mass evictions. That's going to happen at the end of this month. And that will have a lot of impact here as well. We have credits being frozen, so people can't get credit. At Wells Fargo, several places. Oh yeah, tomorrow. What I meant is like on the next trading day, right? Not tomorrow. So Monday or Tuesday, if the markets open up. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be so surprised if the markets would crash on Monday or Tuesday. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised because the markets are so incredibly pumped up, so to speak. Yeah, right. How the markets turn the tables. Holy moly. Really interesting. The classic green pre-market and then sell off in the open hours. I mean, We've seen that often. Nasdaq is about to go red. The Russell's about to go red. I mean, the Russell's straight up crashing right now. I mean, it's down. How much is it down? I mean, it's almost down 10%. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq is just getting started. Yeah, I think Virgin Galactic is now going down to the next Fibonacci support point, which is the 25. It's not holding up, right? So let's say the upper 20s, right? Let's just give it some time to get back to the upper 20s. Yeah, this zone here. I don't think it's going to go back to the lower 20s. That could maybe happen if the whole market starts collapsing. Like if we see like a 10 or 15% correction on the Nasdaq or something. Cciv down 2.4%. We have Didi down 2.2% still. The auto coming back down after the massive rally that we had. Right. Yeah, I think earnings will be quite bullish for Virgin Galactic. They could announce something pretty cool, maybe at earnings. Something like another flight coming up, especially after the $500 million dilution of their current shares hold. I mean, that money could be put to use. Yeah, stop guessing, man. You said Cciv 27 to 30 this week. By today, now it's 22. I'm down 350k. I'm losing all hopes, man. That's a lot of money that you put into Cciv. Yeah. So what I said, I remember this. I said it like several times. I probably said it like every day. That the CPI and PPI were important, and that if the CPI PPI came in bad, worse than expected, that everything would sell off. This includes Cciv. But that despite that happens, I would still see it go up to 35.40 for the merger. Because I would say, hey, I mean, that's going to be negative week, right? If you know CPI and PPI are higher than expected, then it's going to be a negative week for sure. But I think next week, with the merger coming up, I think most of that CPI negativity will be already priced in. And the only thing people are going to be focused on is the merger. And I still think it's going to jump upwards. I think it would be very, very weird if it would not jump. It would be incredibly odd. Possibly a market correction happening if that does not happen. Like I said, the same thing happened with Nikola. The same exact thing. This is the same exact kind of psychological roller coaster. I remember I actually was in the market back then, so I remember what happened. Everybody was holding Nikola stock. They were holding Nikola stock. Then suddenly Nikola went down 20%. And then everybody said Nikola is a scam. Nikola is a scam. It's not going to go up anymore. This was sitting at like $30. Then it dropped another 20%. And people lost faith and they lost hope. Then the merger came around and guess what happened? The stock went up like 100%, 150%. So I'm not losing anything. I think the stock is still going to rally. It's just not going to be this week because of the bad things that happened this week. If everyone thinks it will pull back after the merger, they wait for the pullback to buy. Well, if they do that, I'm going to hold it until the supposed pullback. I don't have a problem with that. I think at $20 is still cheap. Even if it merges at $20, I think Lucid Motors is quite cheap. I'll take it. I'll hold long term if that's the case. I mean, if they want to buy it, if it doesn't go above 30, hey, I'll take it. I'll take Lucid Motors at $20. I mean, that's a long term trade. I just don't think it's gonna stay there. I highly doubt it. Ugh. By what metrics do you find it cheap? Just look at what's going to happen with Rivian. Rivian is going to be IPOing at 60 billion. If Rivian can IPO at 60 billion, don't you think that Lucid Motors could get pretty close to that valuation? I think they could. In fact, I would say Lucid Motors is looking a lot more attractive than Rivian. Is Lucid just a car company or is it it's like Tesla, pretty much. Tech and car company at the same time. No way, the Russell's negative. No way. Do you see that? That is just hilarious. That is hilarious. So it was up a percentage point, then it drops 2%. Oh, sorry, it drops a percentage point, it's now negative. That is just hilarious. This is just classic hedge funds, right? Pumping up in the pre-market and then let it drop right after. I mean, this is just hilarious. Oh well. Yeah. When did the CPI come out? Look, this is when the CPI come out. They come out, right? So this is the Russell sitting at 2,274. Since the CPI and PPI came out, guess what happened? The Russell went down 5%. What happened with the Nasdaq? What happened with the Nasdaq when the PPI came out and the CPI came out? The Nasdaq is down 2%. The S&P barely down, just barely down. The Dow Jones is actually going up because of it, right? So the Dow Jones went upwards because of that CPI report. Gara, when do you predict the crash to be around? Because it seems like Apple's creating a head and then a possible shoulder. End of the month. I think end of July looks like we could see a bit of a downturn. Suddenly everybody wants to buy Apple stock. But like a month ago, nobody was talking about Apple stock. Everybody was talking about how Apple was going to crash. Including me, by the way. It's funny how the tables turn. But yeah, I mean, we did foresee a run coming for Apple for earnings. I don't think it's going to hold up, though. So 20%. I think it could come down to about like 137, possibly. Upper 140s. Big banks are selling off. Despite the 10-year going up. Big banks coming down. The value stocks heading up. Look at Coca-Cola. Creating... is it an all-time high? Not quite yet. Let's take a look at Berkshire Hathaway. Oops. Berkshire Hathaway not going up yet. Weird stuff. I mean, it's down 4% from its all-time high. Let's check Berkshire Hathaway B. Still not heading up. Virgin Galactic lawsuits, failure to disclose. What do you mean? Is there a lawsuit going on with Virgin Galactic? Hold up. Alright, so I see the media sentiment becoming bearish now. Talking about a struggle. Right after the shares went up like 100%. Actually, the shares went up like 300% or something. So it's weird that they're talking about a struggle when they're having a really great time right now. But that's the media for you. They'll try to come up with anything to push a certain narrative. Here we go. To scale its business, the company will be required to heavily invest in new motherships and spaceships, build the necessary infrastructure for point-to-point travel. Well, that is what we already know. See, hold up. I'm going to share my screen right now. Look at this. This is hilarious. This is like classic media sentiment manipulation. Look at this. So they're literally saying the same things they've been saying for just a year. And they've been wrong because the stock went from like $10 to like 60. Here we go. The same exact points they've been making, this Seeking Alpha. Despite managing to conduct the first successful civilian spaceplane in 17 years, the struggles for Virgin Galactic is about to begin. Well, how does that work? Because they just had a successful flight. They just have the FAA approval. They're now an established commercial spaceflight company, which basically means the best news ever came in, and that is going to be with this company for the next 10, 20 years. And now they're saying the struggle is about to begin. That is not how it works. That is absolutely not how it works. Now they're saying to scale its business, the company will be required to heavily invest in new motherships and spaceships, build the necessary infrastructure for point-to-point travel, and constantly raise new capital. Well, of course. I mean, we already know this. We know that Virgin Galactic is going to have to scale up and raise new capital. I mean, there's nothing new about this. They've been doing this, and I think they should be doing it. Where's the struggle? I mean, so far they're succeeding pretty good. We believe that Virgin Galactic is an unattractive long-term investment at the current price. Of course you do. It went down from $60 to $30. Then it becomes unattractive. But when it's at 60, suddenly everybody says it's very attractive. And I think that is so fishy about the media. When the hedge funds and institutions are buying a certain stock and the stock is sitting at the highest level possible and the fundamental catalyst is about to be priced in, that's when these articles come out on Seeking Alpha, Investor Palace, or whatever you want to call it. And they'll tell you to buy because guess what? These media outlets are paid off by institutions, by hedge funds, and they're creating this bearish narrative when the stock is down 50%. Where the hell were these people when the stock was sitting at 60? That's what you should be wondering. Like, where the hell was Seeking Alpha? Where the hell were all these media outlets when the stock was sitting at the top? Well, guess what? They were spreading bullish narratives on Virgin Galactic. It's going to go to space. Richard Branson. And now Richard Branson went to space. We had the FAA approval. And suddenly, after a 50% drop, you shouldn't be buying Virgin Galactic. This makes me so angry. Of course, they're not giving financial advice, but still. More challenges ahead, right? I mean, this is just classic media sentiment manipulation. We saw the same thing happen with GME. Remember with GME, it was sitting at $40. Seeking Alpha told you, hey, GME is not a great stock. It went to $550. It absolutely burned the hedge funds that actually paid these media outlets to post these negative articles. And the same thing happened with AMC. The same thing happened with BlackBerry, Nokia. I just find it so just laughable. It is just laughable. Sorry for that rant. I just had to quickly get that out of my system. It's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting what they're doing. The only thing they're doing is giving you the opposite of what you should be doing. And they do this every single day. They get paid out by big hedge funds, big money. And you're supposed to take them seriously because guess what? They know what's right. And I'm not saying I'm right all the time. I'm not saying I'm right at all, actually. I can be wrong quite often. But it's just disgusting, especially right after what we saw with AMC and GME, all those incredibly bearish headlines. When AMC was at $10, you know, they came out with like a bombardment with bearish articles and everything, yet the stock flew right away to 70. It's just hilarious. All right, enough ranting. I don't know, you should know that these articles that you're seeing on Google News and everything, do not take them seriously. Take them with a grain of salt. Do not ever take these articles seriously. They are trying to spread a narrative. That's always the case with media. There's a narrative that they're spreading out, and it's actually paid for in many, many cases with Yahoo Finance, CNBC, the place that we were Seeking Alpha. They get paid behind closed doors to be pushing certain narratives. But it's, I don't know, man. Virgin Galactic is down today, though, so I'll give them that. It is down today. We'll see if it's going to last. Tesla's down as well. We got Didi, CCIV. I mean, they said it like, remember, AMC was right here, and I saw some bearish articles come out, right? Right here, AMC was at $10. Guess what happened? It's still way higher than that $10. It's hilarious. It's just, my head hurts. But that's just the classic hedge funds buying up the medias. The media is not your friend. No, I will have to say it. The media is absolutely not your friend when it comes to stocks information, everything. You're going to have to take it as it is with a grain of salt. Try to be objective about this. When you think somebody's spreading FUD, they're probably spreading FUD. When you think somebody's hyping up a stock, they're probably hyping up a stock. And I've learned this over the years, right? So I started out believing these articles like, oh, you should buy the stock, and then the stock falls down 30%. I mean, it's a painful journey, but at some point you'll learn how to, like, work around that stuff. The thing is, they will not apologize. They will not apologize. If they get it wrong, they won't apologize. It's like, they'll do as if it never happened. And that's the most immoral thing. Like when they say a certain stock goes to like $100 and it drops to like $5, they'll not even come back to it. So, all right, guys and gals, I'm gonna be taking a break now. We've been live for almost 2 hours. Yeah, the market is not quite rebounding yet. I still think stocks are cheap, very oversold, and I still think they're going to be rebounding. Whether it's going to be tonight, before Power Hour, or whether it's going to be next week. So that's just my overall opinion on the market. I will not be giving up on these stocks. I think there is a promising time coming ahead. For the Virgin Galactic, for the Palantir, the C3.I, etc. Still looking quite good. It's just going to take some time. I think this week was especially affected by the CPI and the PPI. And I think once that is completely priced in, we'll see stocks rise again. The Russell's down a lot. All the indices are bloated. So I think there are good times coming. And it's no time to be panicking because the Fed is still supporting the markets. So it's not time to fight the Fed here. All right? Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check out the social media. We have an Instagram, a Twitter, and we also have the Discord community. If you have not joined that yet, I'll be linking those in the live chat. It's also linked in the description. I'm going to be giving shout outs to people that join me on Instagram and join me on Twitter. So I'll be linking you guys to that just right now. So if you want a shout out from me right here, right now, then do make sure you follow me there on Instagram and on Twitter. Here we go. All right, I linked it in the live chat. You can click it right there. If you follow me right now, I'll give you a shout out prior to the live stream ending. And also, I'll be back for the second live stream. I'll be back in about 2 hours. No, 3 to 4 hours. Sorry. So in about 3 to 4 hours, we'll be back for the second live stream for today. You could still see some positivity. I think it still could get quite interesting. But yeah, so far, it's been quite bloody. So far, so good. All right. Talk about Didi on your socials. Yeah, I should probably do that, shouldn't I? Your favorite color, red. I guess it is the favorite color. Gara, my puts go burr. Congrats. Alright, I'm going to be going now. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in about a couple hours, and we're going to be covering the stocks that we always cover, and hopefully in a couple hours we'll see them go green. And I think there's a high chance they will be going green prior to the weekend. We'll see. All right, cheers everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the donations. This was Lucid Trading, and I'll see you for the second live stream in a couple hours. If I don't see you, have an awesome weekend, and I'll be seeing you very, very soon.